So when I first met Becky, when we had our first date, she made it very clear to me that she was going to marry a Catholic man and that her children would be raised Catholic. But here I was with a Jewish upbringing and kind of, not really going to temple or doing anything at the time. And as we started dating, I started going to Mass with her weekly. And it really became an important part of our relationship as we began to see each other more often. And attending Mass was just a really critical part of it for me. I loved her faith, and I loved learning about being a Catholic and going to Mass.
My childhood priest was Father Charlie Davis, who has always been very special, and that's who led Dave and I through our pre-Cana journey, and then married us and baptized all of our children until he passed away, and that's when Father Mike baptized the other three. But he was a strong influence. I think he saw that we were a good fit for each other too, and so I think he encouraged the marriage along as well and facilitated it. Father Davis said the worst thing that I could do is to convert Dave to Catholicism, that Jesus was Jewish, and all of our roots and all of our traditions come from the Jewish faith, and there's a lot that I can learn from that. And he recommended that I just kind of continue my way of life, obviously raise our children Catholic, but keep exposing Dave to the beauty of the Catholic faith as well, and have him expose me to the Jewish faith.
From the moment we started dating, I was going to Mass and hearing the liturgy and participating as I watched each of my children go through their sacraments of baptism and First Communion, and it was so neat to observe. But I kept realizing I'm still that. I'm observing. I'm outside of this. I'm not part of this. And how do I get there? But we've been so busy with having children, and there hasn't really been a free time. The force of Sister Pat, she's caught me several times over the years to say, hey, we'd love to have you come to RCIA. And one night she caught me after a baptism and said it again to me. And I think it was at that moment I said, you know what, it's time. I've been at the point where I feel like I'm a Catholic, but I'm not. I need to complete the journey.
So what was the experience of the rite of Christian initiation for adults? What was that like?
It was a little different than I was expecting. I thought it was more about teaching you how to be Catholic. But it really wasn't. It was more of a journey of explaining aspects of the catechism and the meaning behind a lot of the teachings of Christ. It was more reflective than I thought it would be, but it was just a great time. It's certainly been my most spiritual time.
So on that Holy Saturday when you were received into the church, what was that like?
Oh my goodness, it was extraordinary. I mean, it was a little. I think I was a little nervous, a little anxious about it, but then. My family was there, all of my kids were there, and I think they were so excited to see me go through baptism and receiving communion, and I think that just made it all the more interesting. And then it's such a beautiful vigil from, the lighting of the candles and the fire and the darkness in the church, and it's a memorable night. I mean, it'll stay with me forever.